This short video is produced by the Michigan Military and Veterans Hall of Honor. We're going to talk with board member Lieutenant Colonel Jim Dempsey, retired from the United States Air Force, about a couple of the different inductees. We're hoping that this will interest you to go to the website, read more about those Michiganders who have been inducted into the Hall of Honor, and maybe do a little more of your own research. These are truly inspiring people. Jim, welcome to this little video. That first we want to talk about Edgar Culbertson. What can you tell us about this gentleman has been inducted into the Michigan Hall of Honor?
Yeah, absolutely. Edgar Culbertson is a Michigan native, lived in the state for over 20 years, and his hometown is Ferndale, Michigan. He was a member of the U.S. Coast Guard, and he was the rank he held at the time of his death was Boatswain's Mate First Class, U.S. Coast Guard. He was on active duty from 1952 to 56. He served in the reserves from 56 to 58, and then returned to active duty, where he died on April 30th of 1967.
Well, tell us a little bit about his heroic acts that led to his ultimate demise.
Surely. He was assigned to the USS Durant, a Lifeboat Station Duluth, Minnesota. And the report on the of the event that happened in Duluth was that meteorologists and Minnesota residents often refer to that date of April 30th, 1967 as Black Sunday. They described the 1967 Iowa-Minnesota tornado outbreak and heavy winds and rain in Duluth. And during the storm, waves on Lake Superior in Duluth were over 20 feet high, with water temperatures around 36 degrees. Gale force winds gusted to up to 45 miles an hour. Around 7:45 p.m. that evening, a witness reported to the Duluth Police Department that three boys, Eric, Nathan, and Arthur Halverson, were at the end of the Duluth entry North Breakwater Light Pier when one of the boys was washed into the water by a large wave. The other two were stranded at the end of the pier by high winds and waves. The police department contacted the Coast Guard Lifeboat Station in Duluth for assistance. So this is where Edgar Culbertson came in. He and fellow members of the Coast Guard tried to made an unsuccessful attempt to rescue the boys. Edgar was 31 years old at that point, a veteran of the Korean War. He had served in the Coast Guard since 1952. He and two other Coast Guardsmen, Boatswain Mate Second Class Richard Callahan, 21, of Cicero, Illinois, and Fireman Ronald Prey, 21, of St. Francis, Wisconsin, volunteered to attempt a rescue, and after arriving at the pier, they tethered themselves together with a rope spaced 25 feet apart and began searching the pier with a lantern. They struggled to the end of the pier but did not find the missing boys, who had already been swept over the side. As Culbertson, Callahan, and Prey returned along the pier, another large wave crashed over the wall, knocking Culbertson over the side. His body was later found on the beach. There's a permanent marker honoring Culbertson, which was placed on the pier by Lake Superior Maritime Visitors Center near the spot where he perished. He is one of only two Coast Guardsmen to have died in the line of duty while serving in Minnesota on Lake Superior.
Boy, I tell you, Jim, those of us here in the Great Lakes states, we know how brutal the big lakes can get. And
Absolutely.
this is a story of somebody who put themselves at risk to try to save another in public service, and certainly is an appropriate member of the Michigan Military and Veterans Hall of Honor. Wrapping up, anything else you want to tell us about Mr. Culbertson?
Yeah, just the fact that all three of these service members were awarded the Coast Guard Medal, the highest peacetime medal awarded in recognition of heroism. And at the time it was awarded, it had only been awarded to 44 individuals. Significant accomplishment for this gentleman.
A real inspiring story, and that's why he's in the hall, and we want you to go read more about him. Go to the website and learn more about Edgar Culbertson.